Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back to Phatkat Collections. Man, here we go. Another Venom watch in my collection. And I never thought I would buy another Venom watch, not because I don't love it. Venom watch to me is a very kind of sentimental watch. And I say that loosely, but, you know, hey, we got to say something in the video, right? So, honestly, my first Invicta watch was the Venom. I still have it. I have this watch in a two-tone rose and yellow. A little bit of rose around the bezel. I have this in the all stainless steel. And it was the very first watch, like when Invicta first started making just amazing, huge timepieces. I remember like seeing the size and like reading it was almost an inch thick. And I was like, how could that be possible? And then I got the watch, and that really, for me, started the ball rolling with wanting to own these brands. Now, I have kind of dropped off on Invicta for a while. I don't buy as many watches as I used to just because I work with companies and I get free watches. So, like anything in life, the more you do something, the more you kind of desensitize to it. And I'm not saying I don't love watches. Obviously, I just bought the Bull of a Precisionist in gold. I got this one from my amazing mom and dad for Christmas. The price was amazing on it. Normally, I wasn't going to have them buy me another, have them get me a watch for Christmas, but it went on special. Guys, get this, $96. I'm going to put the link in the description. Incredible. I don't know if it's still on sale, but you can get this for under like $150. I saw it as high as like $230. I'll put what links I have for it. I absolutely love this. And I first saw this because I was actually just looking at white watches. I don't have an all-white stainless steel watch. I don't have like any... Well, to be honest with you, I was really looking for a ceramic watch. And I really didn't find anything that really I liked. I did find an older Aragon watch that was white ceramic, which I am eyeballing still. I did see like, who else? Like, believe it or not, what's the brand? An Armani. It's smaller. And then this one just popped up. And I was like, gosh, that's really friggin' cool. Now, this is not ceramic, but it is all done in all white. And it almost looks like somebody painted it with white out. And this is essentially coated in what Invicta refers to as like their aqua plating. Now, full disclosure, I'm a little skeptical on the longevity of this finish. I don't know how well this is going to hold up. Nice thing about stainless steel, super durable. Gold plating, super durable. When we look at like, Invicta and a lot of their like kind of special plating, whether it be like their blue label, all those are pretty durable. Like I have a lot of watches finished in a lot of different colors, and I've never had any issues. However, with this, because the liquid kind of like aqua plating, it's I don't know if it's like a paint that's been like liquidized, and what they do is this gets dipped in a bath and then it gets plated. Now, full disclosure, sizing this, you do have to bang the pins out, and so you can kind of see right here where, see this pin right here, whacking at that, I took that white finish right off. The watch does have, you can see I've somehow this got chipped. I don't know if that's just from, I think just interacting with the links, just kind of like hitting the other one. There is a chip in it. Now, I have not worn this watch yet, other than like around the house a little bit. So again, I just want to make it very clear. I don't know, normally if I want to talk about a Venom at stainless steel, I'll tell you, beat the hell out of it. It's going to be super reliable. But the only thing about this watch, again, that I am skeptical of is this finish. I would much rather this have been done in like, ceramic, but Invicta doesn't do a lot of ceramic watches. But nevertheless, the price is right. It gave me the look I'm going for. And the way that I wear watches, this is something that's probably going to get worn when I want to wear something like a bright white shirt or something, summer day, to the casino. Or I'm not really going to be wearing this kind of around the house. Like my Bulova, I'll be wearing this at my computer desk. I'm doing other things now. So I'm not saying I'm out there gardening or anything or working on my car. But generally, like I will wear this just beating around the house. This one, I'm not going to risk it. I won't even wear a leather jacket with the button on the inside because I do feel like this is going to, you're going to wear this. I'm pretty sure you're going to. Now, time will tell, and I will come back and re-review this watch or put a comment in the description on how this held up over the years. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is going to hold up super, super well. But I couldn't find a lot of information about aqua plating. Now, they do aqua plating on a lot of different things. Like they use it on car parts. I've seen them do it. I think they do a lot of it with like camouflage on like gun stock. So maybe it is pretty durable. I just don't know enough about it, and I don't know anything about how Invicta does it. But nevertheless, it is a really amazing piece. And the Venom, is such a cool watch that if you are an Invicta guy and you don't have a Venom, whether you get a stainless one, a gold one, whatever the case, it is just one of the most unique timepieces I think Invicta has ever done, and they're very well made. My Venom that I have, if I just talk about the stainless steel one, I've had that watch now for, geez, when did I get it? Like, I think back in 2012 maybe? 2011. So we're looking at well, you know, I remember the watch community is a bunch of jokes, dude. People reviewing watches have their own agendas, and they talk about how, oh man, Invicta's going to last you 6 months or this and that. I have over 500 watches in my collection. They all still work no matter what price point. Remember, it's how you take care of things. Now, I'm not saying you can't have issues. Absolutely you can. But Invicta makes an extremely well-made watch. And anybody with any brains could pick up a watch like this, compare it to any watch out there, and see that the fit and finishing is incredible. Just everything about the watch is well made. Again, don't know about the actual this coating, but if we just kind of put that aside for a second, you may not be interested in a white watch. This one just really did it for me. We have a gunmetal face. It is a quartz watch. We do have stainless steel function pushers and lugs. I think they did that just because like you're going to be touching these more. These are fake function pushers. They don't screw down, right? But to get this watch at the price point that I got it for, that's kind of what they have to do. And you'll see Invicta doing that with a lot of their watches. Like I have many watches that have screw down crown and function pushers, and other ones, same model, they didn't. And that's to cut cost. And, you know, remember, these watches, I don't really think it's really necessary to have screw-down function pushers and crowns. Even though they call them dive watches, these are really watches you just wear. Now, yes, it does have an element of water resistance, even without screw-down crown and function pusher. But it's not, you know, I just don't think it's as important to people who buy these watches, right? They're not really, I know they rate them as like Venom dive watches, 3,000 meter water resistance. But I don't really believe... that's kind of, hang on, I just got to check something, folks. I don't really think that you're not buying this because you're like, I need a dive watch. Let me look at Invicta. It's not really the case, right? It's a dive style watch, and it is a massive, massive watch. I absolutely love it. I mean, I'm so fortunate that I got this for Christmas. It is absolutely incredible, and it's just extremely, like, bright. Now, they did make this, and they also make this in a silver face. This is the gunmetal. It's almost black. I wanted more of like a Stormtrooper kind of look. But the one I was kind of back and forth on was the mint face. And it has this beautiful mint green. I'll put the link to that in the description as well. Was definitely kind of hard to choose, but I just figured this would kind of match more stuff. The mint is just like, I don't know. Yeah, you can wear the mint with whatever, but I went with this color. I didn't have it, so that's what I went with. I mean, I could have really gone either way. If this one wasn't available, I would have went with the mint face one. But they're very cool. I absolutely love this piece. If I didn't say that enough, let me just give you guys some specifications. So Invicta still got the plastic on here. Invicta uses 316L stainless steel on their watches. I believe this one also has it, although they do label it just on like Shop HQ as stainless steel. Not a lot of information on this, but this is a 53 millimeter case diameter, if I remember correctly. It is, I believe, 23 millimeters in case thickness. It is a very thick, chunky watch. 100 meters of water resistance. It'll fit up to a 10.25 inch wrist. They say the crystal's mineral on this. They don't even have flame fusion, which, in all honesty, you know, you're not going to scratch any of these, and especially with this, like. If you do something that scratches, like you're going to really destroy the watch. But if you did get something all in stainless steel, then absolutely, you could scratch it. But I don't know. I've never scratched any watch, so I never really care if it's mineral or sapphire. Ultimately, if you're paying, a couple $1,000 for a watch, the expectation is to have sapphire. But for this, this is just an incredible value. The movement in this watch is something that Invicta also has done differently. Sorry, folks, got to scroll up. This one is using the TMI VD53. And what I like about this movement over a lot of the other Venoms I have, use Ronda movements and maybe some other brand. But what I like about this is you can see the second hand ticking away. A lot of movements that are Ronda, and this is not just Ronda, this is across the board with many, many different watch brands that are chronographs. And remember, a chronograph is nothing more than a stopwatch. I honestly would have preferred this with an H35 automatic and just keep the simple face. But this is how they made it. It is what it is. But and nothing wrong with it. Like, it's super accurate. Don't get me wrong. But what I like about this particular quartz movement is that your second hand actually moves. A lot of the other Invictas I have and a lot of other quartz chronographs, that second hand stays at 12 o'clock. And the only time it moves is when you press number 1 function pusher and activate the chronograph. So when I do with this watch, hopefully you can see, this is now, I like that they reversed it. So this is your function pusher second hand at the 6 o'clock position. You press it to pause it, you press the second function pusher to reset it, and it ticks back to 0. Meanwhile, your second hand is still telling time, it's still working properly. A lot of mistakes I see with some people who just start getting into these watches is they think the second hand's supposed to move, and then next thing you know, their battery's dead in 6 months. Second hand's not supposed to move. On this watch, it is. So I prefer this TMI movement over the Rondas. It's just a much, I don't know, it's just a preference, right? What else about this watch? We have some white, Invicta logo on the side here. It's probably a sticker of some sort. It appears to be like a sticker. Remember, this is like, when we compare this Invicta, I think it's a sticker. I can't really tell. No, actually, that might be engraved. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's not a sticker. It's actually like engraved logo on there with like a sandblast finish. That's what it looks like to me. What else? We have 5 levels of micro adjustment. I had to take quite a bit of links out this. Another thing to be mentioned too, you'll find like with a lot of Venoms, most Venoms have the milled clasp. They went with just a cheaper stamped stainless steel clasp. Again, for the price point, I mean, I would expect nothing less. Like, it is still an amazing piece. And even if it costs $300, would I have got it for $300? No, because I already have Venoms in $300s. Like, I would never have my parents spend that on me, right? For, not at this point in our lives. But are there watches I'll spend more for? Yeah, the Bulova Precisionist. It's been on my list for a long time. But like, this is, again, remember, this is just a Venom watch that has been kind of, I don't want to say cheapened, but there's been some more affordable options put on this. So do I think that $250 for this is unreasonable? No, I still think it's a good price, but the only thing I really question is how, the longevity of this finish. But at least for right now, it looks absolutely stunning. It's big, it's bold, and these are the watches that again, this watch got me into collecting Invicta. Now, I will also state, I had a hard time sizing this because I haven't been wearing the larger watches for a while now. I mean, and this was really digging into the bone. Normally, I would wear a watch like this tighter, but in this case, with this particular watch, because the lug kind of takes a little bit of a dip right there. You can see how it hangs down. For my wrist, it was really digging in. So I was like, why is this? I thought maybe they redesigned that or these lugs hung down lower. Not the case. I just had it a little bit too tight and it was like really pushing on that bone. So in this case, this watch is actually going to cover the ulna and I have it just a little bit looser where it's not going to dig into that bone. In all honesty, no matter which watch I'm wearing by Invicta, no matter how big, I've never had one really irritate that bone other than this particular one, and it was only because I sized it wrong. Like I had the clasp a little further up. So some of the point is you might have to play with a little bit to get it sized right. But again, on a 7-inch wrist, it looks absolutely massive. It is a really sweet piece, and if you're looking for something that's extremely unique and summary, when we start collecting watches, you're always trying to look for something that's new and unique for your collection. And believe it or not, I didn't have a white watch. I had a white watch on, with a white face, stainless steel with like a white strap, rubber, whatever, but nothing in like metal, which is really what I prefer. Now, I will be looking for a ceramic watch, and the nice thing about ceramic is that, they're extremely scratch resistant. You can shatter them, of course, but I will get my hands on one eventually, maybe something a little bit smaller, but super happy. And again, my parents are awesome. I love this gift. And I'll do a full video review on this so you can see what it looks like with me in the video. But that's about it. I just want to give you guys some of the basic information of it. Cool watch. Definitely a cool one for your collection. Give you a little side-by-side comparison with the Bulova. The Bulova is 46.5, 46.5. It just, I don't want to say it dwarfs it, but it's just an awesome watch. And I'll close on this. I have a lot of watches in my collection. I get excited for each and every one of them, but there's nothing like the Venom watches. Even just looking down at this on my wrist, it has such an awesome wrist presence. I there are times where I'm wearing the smaller watches and I'm like, I kind of maybe outgrew Invicta a little bit. I don't wear it as much as I used to. I prefer the smaller watches. Then I go pull them out and slap them on the wrist, and I'm like, what was I thinking? These watches are awesome, and this just really matches my personality. They're big, they're bold, and these watches just get noticed. And if you feel this watch in your hand, if we just put apart, again, my worry about, how long this is going to last, don't get a white one. Get like a black one, a gold one. And if all else fails, the stainless steel one will last you a lifetime. They really are amazing watches. And the first time you get one of these in your hand, if you like the big stuff, a lot of folks will grab one of these watches and they're like, oh, and guys who are familiar with watches, like who have had hands on many brands, will pick one of these up and try to give it a fair assessment, but they just can't get past the size because it's not their taste, right? If you like this and you can objectively hold this in your hand and compare the fit, the finishing, the level of quality with this, the materials, it is incredible they make any money. It really is. So thanks for watching, folks. Happy holidays. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm always here to help. Take care now.